Hey all, it's Amanda from the Shadowlands. This time I'm bringing you hard mode Lost Island.
Dude, I just want an alternate tank if I need it.
To begin, I'm not showing you a boss fight, but I'm showing you how we go about skipping over a lot of the trash to get to that first boss.
I knew nothing about this fight.
Ordinarily, we try to sneak underneath this bridge, but on this run, one of our members accidentally triggered the bird on the bridge, and so we had to take him down. The reason why we ordinarily avoid him is because he will just keep respawning little ads and just more and more and more until you finally take him down, and it's just really obnoxious.
Who's mad?
The bird on the bridge.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm skipping a little ahead here since you don't really need to watch the entire fight. Just the main thing is try to avoid him. If you can't, kill the bird, then kill the ads because they just keep coming and coming.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah, I heard on one of the podcasts I was listening to that one of the changes that they're making for the 2.0 is they're going to make Lost Island less difficult.
It's actually not that difficult as it stands, once you're like geared in.
So at this point, I've seen groups do this two ways. One is you can just avoid this ledge and take out those ads that are down below on the other side of the bridge, which you're about to see. What I'm going to do is just shield myself and jump down and run across. Does a little bit of damage, just make sure you heal up.
If you rock it with
And easy as that, we're at the first boss. So the first boss is fairly straightforward and is the easiest of all the boss fights in Lost Island. First, your DPS want to take out those little ads that you see me targeting. Secondly, you'll see these little volcanoes pop up out of the ground, followed by yellow reticles. You want to stay out of them. The third thing you need to know is that this boss hits like a truck, so your healer and your tank have to be on their toes. As you can see, there's really not much more to him. The second boss is where a lot of pickup groups fall apart. It takes a lot of coordination, it's hard on melee, and it does take some getting used to. Unfortunately for this video, all of our group members are ranged DPS, so you'll only be able to see the mechanics of the fight, and if you're a melee class, you'll have to work out with your group what you should do. So as you can see, our tank is trying to position the boss in the middle of the room on that square patch there. There will be no lava that touches that square, so he will be safe. What our tank is going to do is interrupt incinerate, and then periodically you'll see these white rings pop up under the ranged and our healer. They will then turn blue, and you'll see that big shield start to expand. It does damage, so you want to carefully place these around the room and then move together because they will grow bigger and bigger as the fight goes on. In addition, there will be these ads popping out of the Culto tanks around the room. Your DPS just wants to take them out and then return to the boss as soon as possible. I'm slipping in a quick tip here. If you ever run into the issue where you have to choose between running into the shield or lava, take the lava damage. The shield does more damage. It's better to get hit by lava. Jumping ahead here, you can also see that because of range, sometimes you can't avoid getting hit by the lava. So as you can see, It may take a little bit getting used to, but once you get the hang of it, he's pretty easy to take down.
Fight this guy in forever.
The following is a mini-boss, which we don't typically fight. What we do is we finish off the ads, and then we usually run back down the hall. If he still aggroes on you, you can duck into the side room, as you see us doing, and he will reset. If you do choose to fight him, just be aware that he does have a big knockback.
He should evade here. There you go.
Oh. If I don't get disoriented. Our third boss is Savrak. You'll be fighting him on a platform, so you want to try to keep him as close to the middle as possible. To best explain this fight, I'll explain as the effects happen. Here, a red text message flashes across the screen, and it basically says that he is starting his smash. Everyone wants to pile up under his back feet, and he will knock you into the air. If you're not standing at the right place, you will go flying off the platform. The second message that you'll see mentions that he has jumped up onto a pipe. At this point, your DPS and your tank need to spread out and go to the 3 different columns that have consoles on them. You need to click on it, get as close as you can to the ledge. It is a channeled cast. While this is going on, he'll be on top of those little columns, he'll jump from column to column, and he'll be flinging what essentially looks like poo. Meanwhile, your healer should stand in the middle, that way they're easily in range of everyone else who's on the consoles. That's basically the fight. As you can see, he will smash several times, he'll jump to the pipe several times. You just need to keep doing this back and forth until you get him down. There is a second mini-boss in Lost Island, but I don't know many groups that attempt to take him down. If you do, just be aware that there are icicles that fall from the cavern top. If you get close to them, they slow you down, so you need to really spread out.
If the latest version of the virus is so great, why don't you inject yourself?
And here we are at Dr. Lorik, the final boss of Lost Island. Again, because of the complexity of this fight, I'm going to go through it as the effects happen. The first one you'll notice right away is that periodically underneath every one of your players, a red and yellow circle will pop up. Once that's gone, you'll see that green pool. It'll do damage if you stand in it, so you need to keep moving around the room. If you continue to stand in the green pools, you will get a stacking debuff that is the raccoon virus. It is sometimes unavoidable to get these stacks, and luckily they are curable, so if you're a healer, make sure you're watching your group members. If you see a big stack on them, cleanse it. Just a few seconds ago, the Culto tank was attackable. This will happen in a counterclockwise motion around the room. You want to attack the Culto tanks. If you don't destroy them, an ad will pop out and you will have to kill it. Luckily, the damage that you do to the tank applies to the ad inside of the tank. For Dr. Lorik himself, periodically you'll hear him say, "I have a few tricks up my sleeve." At this point, he will do Satchel Charge. Your tank wants to try to turn him away from the rest of the group because it will do a lot of damage. I have also seen tanks try to move him around the Culto tanks, but if you do this, be aware that it's very easy for your healer to lose line of sight. I'm skipping ahead just a little bit to Phase 2. At this point, you will see burning radical ads drop down from the ceiling. You want to spread out and avoid them as much as possible because if you get close to them, they will stun you continually and eventually you will just die from it. It's very hard to avoid once you start getting stunned. Skipping ahead again just a little bit, in Phase 3, after you've done a bunch of damage, he will grow and then he will turn into a rat ghoul. At this point, we pull him towards the door because he does have a big knockback and it's easiest to fight him against the door. And as you will also see that he's also going to be throwing a AoE debuff on us. It's not curable. It will continue to get on you, so you want to stay stacked up so that your healer can get you as easily as possible. At this point, it's just an all-out DPS fight. And that's it for Lost Island. I hope you found this guide to be helpful. If you feel like it, you can leave me a comment or a like on YouTube. That'd be much appreciated. There'll be more coming in the near future.